United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Entertain a motion to approve the minutes of February 9th, 2017, as the township board meeting.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as provided.
I'll second that motion.
Then moved, supported that the minutes from the February 9th, 2017, as the township board meeting accepted, placed on file. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Carried. You've received a copy of the treasurer's report.
Make the motion to approve the treasurer's report as presented.
I'll second.
Then moved, supported that the treasurer's report be accepted, placed on file. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? You received a copy of the accepted minutes of the February 2nd, 2017 minutes. Any discussion? Any update or anything, Guy?
Well, no, I can do that as part of my report.
Okay. There's no correspondence in your packets. Anyone with anything to bring before the board at this time? Yes, sir?
Well, I guess this is this is Dan Urson. This is the third year of an assessment that we've had on Bar Lake, and it seems like they pretty well got the invasive weeds under control, at least to the point right now where it's felt that possibly that reins can be turned over to the Bar Lake Improvement Association, much as it's done on Chief Lake, where the association takes care of any concerns they have about invasive weeds and that sort of thing. Like I say, we've paid our 3-year assessment right now, and we're in the third year. We paid our 3 years, and it would be a good idea right now if I'd like to urge the Township Board as the governing body to consider dissolution of the Bar Lake Improvement Board. They seem to have done their job. Their meetings are very short anymore. RLS, of course, is the fox watching the hen house. So they'll want to stretch this out forever and ever and maybe have a few more assessments that they can collect. But I think right now, the last reports we've had is that the milfoil, the Eurasian milfoil, is pretty well under control. There might be a few little phragmites around the edge right now that they still have concern about, but it's nothing major. And I still question whether the milfoil that's there is actually even the invasive type. I've asked the fellow from RLS if I could get an independent consideration or analysis of some of those things that I pull up on the lake. Because from what I can see on the internet and the identification of the invasive as opposed to the northern, I'm seeing northern milfoil, which is a native. I asked the fellow from RLS if we could send a sample of that off somewhere for an independent analysis, and he said, yes, well, we do that kind of thing. I said, well, I'm sure you do. You know, foxes like to watch hen houses. You know, I guess my consideration at this point is under Part 309, Section 29, this board, this Township Board is the governing body over that Bar Lake Board, and at least it would be great if you could suggest that they dissolve themselves and turn the reins over to the Improvement Association, if they seem to be the ones that are pushing this more than anything.
I don't, Dan, you're more versed on this than I am. I apologize for that. I don't know what steps need to be taken. I guess first off, the Bar Lake Improvement Board has a meeting on April 17th, I believe.
That's correct.
They have the.
And that can be, they can be, excuse me, but they can be approached at that time and see what kind of kickback we get, you know, see what. I understand your concern and I understand, you're versed in it more so.
Well, yeah, I've become sort of a jailhouse lawyer on this situation, Part 309 of Public Act 451, as revised in 1984. But yeah, under Section 29, that board can dissolve itself. And the impression that we have is probably some of the members of that board are getting tired of fighting this thing also. But RLS, the engineering outfit behind that, of course, would like to milk this cow as much as far as they can go. And so the other option is for the governing body would have to post it for a public hearing for dissolution, and or could do it on their own volition. But
The lake as a whole is not a problem, it's just spotty little areas. So the association could handle that with the riparians that have a problem in that area, because, you know, we're paying an assessment for the whole lake, which is not a problem. It's just certain areas that people have a problem with in front of their property.
My personal opinion, which is, but I would like to take our representative for the Bar Lake Improvement Board to go to that meeting with the suggestion that they do dissolve it and see what kind of outcome we get out of that.
Yeah, our meetings, basically, if you're taking care of just what is going on, lasts about a whole 10 minutes. I mean, it's not even worth the board showing up for. There's just nothing to discuss anymore. Plus, we've had problems with the board itself. The one member on the board has not been to a meeting in, I don't know when, several meetings. He's no longer in office, so I don't know if the next person will take his spot or not. We have one board member who's in a nursing home, who's hard to get out. She does a good job when she's there. And we have our chairman who is having his own issues. So the board itself is very not capable entirely of handling everything at every meeting, of having a full board.
Well, maybe it's served its purpose and time to move on, but
Yeah.
I think it's only
Basically,
fair
it
to
has.
ask that board their opinion on the thing before we move
On
on.
April 17th,
Yes.
when we meet.
I don't know how anyone else feels about
So that,
Okay.
that. We'll do that.
I mean, Milford's gone from 15 acres down
It was
to
only,
1
it
last
was even
year.
less than one, I think,
Yeah,
last
something,
year.
I mean, it's almost negligible.
Yeah.
and I'm not sure that it's, like I said before, I'm not even that sure that it is just the northern milfoil that we're looking at, and out on the bar itself, there's some coontail, but, you know, it's.
I'm not an expert either.
Okay.
I think that's how we'll handle it. I think that'd be the way to go.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, as far as reports are concerned, Mr. Downs, our county commissioner, is out of town. He did not make contact with me. He has extenuating circumstances that did not allow him to give me a report to the zoning administrator, Mr. Feinau. Have you got something going on?
I've got a few things. I received 2 new written complaints during the month of February. It's the neighbors on the end of Birch Road. The first one had to do with signs that were put up on a fence between the properties without a permit. I contacted those people, they came in, applied for, and I granted a permit to put the signs up. And the second one was some building materials, scrap building materials that were left from the construction job last fall that had not been cleaned up yet. I contacted that party, they said they'd have it taken care of before the end of the month. And then the one at Wesco with the lighting, that's still ongoing. I know the work order's in, make contacts regularly, and I'm driving through their parking lot looking at the light several times a week to see if it's been re-aimed. So, there were 2 receipts during the month. One was for Happy Chappies. That's being changed in use from a convenience store to a multifamily residence. So. And the other one was for the signs that I said about in the complaint. The Planning Commission met last week. They considered their rules of their bylaws, approved them as written. They did their annual review of the master plan, and they felt they're 17 years into a 20-year plan, and their feeling is they'd like to budget, or have the township board budget some money so they can begin on a new master plan for the township in the next fiscal year. And they're still working on, the sign amendment did come back from the attorneys, and I sent that out to the Planning Commission today, actually, so that they can review it. And the airport overlay zone, that's still ongoing. No meeting yet with the tribe and the airport and the county planner and our Planning Commission yet. I met 2 weeks ago with Associated Government Services about having them administer the state's construction code enforcement and plan review. They were more than willing to help us put together a resolution with the board, help us create a construction board of appeals, which is necessary before we could convert from state to private or self-enforcement of the state laws, construction laws. That, along with a contract with the Associated Government Services, would all have to go along with the application to the state to be able to do that on our own. So, in the next meeting, the state board, construction board, is July. So, and we need to get that package to them in June.
Along with that, though, we discussed having other governmental agencies join us in that process,
Right, that's right.
because it would be difficult to get an appeals, construction appeals board together with
Just Manistee
just
Township.
Manistee Township. If you
Yeah.
had multi-jurisdictional, then people from all jurisdictions could join in.
Yeah, one board, typically
Or-
made up of contractors or people that are knowledgeable.
What brought this about was the problem that local contractors are having with their inspections, time restraints and things like that. It's, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's no more expensive, it's actually cheaper.
Actually, less
As a
expensive.
homeowner. And the gentleman that was here spoke about having an inspection in 2 days now. You know,
That's quick turnaround compared to what people that are building have now.
that's what brought this about, you know. So we're going to discuss it with other government agencies to see what they think, see what comes together.
And one last thing I want to let the board know about, I got a email about a House bill, number 4266 of this year, that's been, what do they call it, introduced to the legislature to require household agriculture as an accessory use to any residential structure. Now, it's in committee now, but I just so you know, This bill proposes to require farming by a resident to be a use by right. And farming is defined as fruits, vegetables, dairy products, reasonable numbers of poultry, livestock, and other farm animals.
Reasonable.
That's the language right now. So, somebody, it doesn't say who introduced this legislation. Not that it matters, but that might be fun. If it gets through committee and to the floor.
Is that it, sir?
Yep, any questions?
Questions for Guy?
Keep us posted on that.
Thank you, sir. Chuck, anything going on across the street?
Yeah, first of all, I've been gone quite a bit since the end of January for work. 6 days in Colorado and 21 days in Missouri and 12 days in Tennessee, but I'm back. It's spring fire season here, so they probably won't let me go anywhere else. But while I was gone, Tom and the folks over there were taking care of business, and they had 18 total activities, 3 fire-related, 11 medical, and then 4 station trainings and other activities. The total complaint hours were 26 actual complaint hours. The officers had 38 hours. As far as the station, everything's in good working order, minus the siren. I guess the siren, the last week and a half, stopped working, and from what it sounds like, the brushes inside might be bad. So I just still need to call the electrician and have him come out and make sure the power's off to it so we can take a look at it and see if we can get it down. I guess what they do is just replace the brushes on the inside if they're not shorted out, and then
I think last time Jimmy Edmondson brought the crane over from Manistee Welding, he took the siren down.
yeah, probably 15, probably 20. It's been a while. I don't remember it coming
Well,
out.
they've sold that crane, so
Right?
that's not an option.
Well, they
Well,
have a boom truck, I don't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we were looking at maybe using the ladder, but the way the wires are sitting there in the building, it might be easier with like a boom truck or something like that. So we'll look into it a little bit further, take a look at it and see what we want to do. Then also, the gravel over there is kind of settling around the transition area by the cement where you approach. So we'll probably look at putting some fresh gravel, not very much, a few yards along that edge to keep that from breaking off on the north side of the cement right there. I noticed that the other day, with probably a 1.5 inch, 2 inch transition is just gonna get worse. We don't want to bust the concrete.
Well, you're gonna break concrete. I might suggest that you try that crushed concrete.
Yep, that's what's in there.
Members, yeah.
Yeah, we'll look at getting some of
That's
that.
pretty hard.
It does. It's held up pretty good, but it did settle, so it does settle. And then the training connexes over there, they're in place. I'm waiting on it's gotta go through the association for approval for expenditure of the revenue sharing money, so next week's the revenue sharing board, and hopefully by then you'll see some more activity after that, so. No, the money that came
Oh, I
from
see,
revenue
I'm
sharing
sorry. Okay.
has to be approved by the
Yeah.
association.
I'm sorry.
Right.
I misunderstood.
No, you're fine. And then, equipment, as far as revenue sharing, we did, get the money from the SCBA's. I've been dealing with a couple companies on, quotes, even while I was gone. It's been kind of interesting. One company, they had a lower price. They sold the stuff before we could actually act on it, before I got another quote. Trying to get 3 quotes. So we should be making a decision on that pretty soon. I don't want to wait any longer because we have the money that needs to be spent. But I'll keep you posted on that. And then we did receive, I believe, the 50/50 grant from the state. I gotta check with Diane on a couple things first, and then we'll move forward with that. We have until the end of August to spend that money.
What was that for?
Wildland gear, helmets, stuff like that.
And how much was the grant for?
It was 50/50 grant, 4338. So we can spend, they'll reimburse us up to that amount. So if we spend twice that amount, they'll, which is
100, I hope you're talking that 1,000.
4,300, yes. No, they only go to 5. So, yeah, unfortunately, they only go to 5. And then, We were looking at DOT inspections. I contacted the fellow, he can be here next week, so I'll get with Tom and he'll do the DOT inspections on the trucks. Usually we do them in February. February's a pretty short month, went by pretty quick. And then, other than that, we do have the one truck, 131, that's the packing in there looks like it's dripping water again. It seems to do that about every 6-8 months. So we'll probably have to have that'll have to be an apparatus technician come take a look at that. And then as far as personnel, we are down in numbers, but we're gonna do, myself, and Joe Wells are gonna go to recruitment and retention seminar over Mount Pleasant, maybe get some ideas, but we also started a Facebook campaign because most everybody nowadays is on Facebook. I know Danny's not, I'm not actually, my wife is, so I use her Facebook, and we put a advertisement on it, volunteer openings available for medical and fire, and we got 918 hits by the second day, and that was one of our biggest hits, and 6 people shared it, so it was promising. So we're gonna try and do that every week, like a different picture, just so people know that there's opportunity for them, but maybe someone doesn't know there's opportunity. And then there's some changes going on locally with one of our firefighter paramedics, so possibly we should know something maybe in a month if that person will be available to come to the county. And then as administrative, we've been doing some fire training. The new schedule's been working well. Joe Wells and Tom Johnson completed an inspection at the casino. I think that took quite a while, doesn't it, Tom? Like 6 or 8 hours? Yeah, most of the day. And then in May, there's the mass casualty incident training at the airport. And then the day before that is the airport training with the simulator. So this year they actually have the aircraft for a simulator. Last year we had a bus. Or the last time we had a bus, this year we actually had an aircraft to practice on. Matt Cross is doing well on the EMR course, and he should be completed in less than 4 weeks. So, and he's been doing really well from what Anderson has told me. He's the lead instructor. And then I have a mutual aid agreement from all the counties, or all the townships in the county that I'll show you after the meeting. Activity reports. The last one was kind of short because I wasn't here very much, but it had the information I knew about. And as long as those are good, I'll keep still sending them to everybody so everybody knows what's going on. And the last thing pretty much is the DNR burn permits map. If people look online at you type in DNR burn permits, it'll bring up the map and it shows the northern part of Michigan. And we just had our meeting with the state today for our work. And Steve Cameron, who's the Traverse City 50, who's in charge of that area, he covers this area. He'll be sending out more information daily. He keeps that map pretty much up to date. So if you look at that map, all the time Manistee County is orange because Filer and Manistee Township restrict burning permits. But if you were to pull that up and it says no burn all the way down, that means no burn. It's actually brown, which means no burn. There's no need to call, but maybe next month I thought what we could do is I can set up a laptop and show people. It's pretty simple so people can kind of get educated on it. Because in the past, the number that we do have, somebody calls, leaves a message. They can't leave a message because the voicemail box is full. So it's kind of hit and
We
miss.
need we do need an easier way to, because we have people call here and we called here, going there.
The website does have the number here because the number before was John's house. And
Right.
that didn't really work out. So we know this number is not going anywhere. Even the number that people call might change. So, and then what I'm going to start doing now, since it's March 8th and it's already no snow on the ground, the spring fire season's here. So what I've done in the past is I send a message I can send it to everybody if they want, but I had to send messages to Diane and say there's no burning today. Based on where I work and what Steve Cameron sends us, he sends them to all the fire chiefs in the county and other people on the mailing list in the mornings by about 9 o'clock. So, yeah.
What if the phone number was Central Dispatch? And then they told you?
Central Dispatch gets a lot of other miscellaneous calls that they deal with that.
Well, you call them afterwards, right?
Right, but it's usually just the one person calling them, so they're kind of on a first name basis, or 2 people.
Okay.
3 at the most. So if you start getting the public calling in and they just want to do a burn permit, that's gonna tie up 911 for, it's easier just to funnel it through.
The fire department.
Because that's gonna just annoy them more than.
And
they got a
whoever's
lot of-
handling this for you has to have an open mailbox.
Right,
You know, I mean, we get calls back here that we've called that, you know,
right,
what do we call? We gave them the number, we called that number, the mailbox is full.
right.
You know, I know that Dan has graciously picked up
Picked it
and
up.
run with it.
Yep, and I've gotten calls, so, and if I am available, I'll call back, but sometimes I'm not available depending on what I'm at. And we're the only other township that does it, and a lot of times what it's for is just so we know where people are burning, so we don't get those false calls, because we still get some false calls because people burn. And people, there was one in January that we didn't even need to really go to, there was snow on the ground. Really don't need to put people and apparatus on the road to go to something that wasn't really going anywhere, so. It's just to keep it, you know, so then we know what's going on.
What everybody else does, they call the state.
They just look at that burn.
They only
permit,
just look at this map.
and if it's available, they can burn.
You burn.
Everybody else will get that.
They're supposed to. So-
Everybody doesn't have a computer.
Right, there's also a number, I don't have the number right with me, but I
There's
can look it up.
something.
Yep, or 888, the newer extension, but if they call it and they're issuing no burn permits, people don't even always call. So, and then if they do call, then we won't know, then there'll be people driving by, like they do now, and they'll call in and say, hey, there's the unknown burn. They don't stop and investigate, they just keep driving. They call dispatch is required to tone us out for an unknown fire at such and such. We go, oh, it's just someone burning the pond. So it does cut down on all that a lot. A lot of departments, I hear it from work, they're going to an unknown burn because they don't have that system in place. So this is the time of year when it really, really.
So currently, they're still supposed to call Dan,
Yes.
which is 590.
690-532. And then what I'll do too in the next week or so, I'll see if we can find an alternate number, just so we have 2 people available. So that should help a lot.
Great. Any questions for Chuck? Thank you, sir. Again, thank the personnel over there for the fine job they're doing. We'd like to have some more people help you out, though.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. There's the winds always change.
There's no significant changes in the liquor inspections. The only thing that I have to add to the reports is the revenue sharing board will meet April 17th rather than the 10th. That's been distributed. It will be April 17th at 5 p.m. here, and that will be for a verbal presentation of Grant Cycle 1, 2017. Business we need to take care of, the adoption of the 2017 poverty guidelines and asset test. This is guidelines for the board of review to use. These are federal guidelines. The federal dictates to the state. It's really a generic thing, but it has to be adopted by the township, by the governing agency to provide guidelines for the board review next week. The asset test and the poverty guidelines are in your pamphlets. Entertain a motion to accept them as presented.
I make a motion to accept them as presented.
And I'll second it.
And move supported that the Manistee Township asset test and poverty guidelines be accepted as presented. Given to the board review. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None? Thank you very much. The only other thing I have a comment on, if you see anybody throwing any more garbage over there by the recycle bins, please advise them that it's not a dump. And if it continues to be misused, it could be discontinued. There were 6 bags of household garbage over there yesterday morning. Just thrown on the ground, let somebody else worry about it, it's not my problem. And it can't continue, it's costing us way too much money. Along those lines, we are researching other ways to handle it. Garbage, unloading your leaves on the ground, stuff like that, that just means that we have to take care of it. Take care of your own stuff, please. Anything else? Well, bills have been provided.
Make a motion to pay the bills for March as they are received.
I second that.
Been moved, supported that the bills be paid. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. None opposed? Carried. Board of Review is gonna meet for appeals next Monday, March 13th, from 2 to 5, 6 to 9. And on Tuesday, March 14th, from 9 a.m. till noon, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. here at the hall. If you have a question about your assessment for the McGinnis drain that appeared on your tax bill, I'm not trying to shed our responsibility, but there isn't anything this board can do about it. If you have questions pertaining to those assessments, please contact the drain commissioner. Right?
Correct.
Manistee County MTA is going to meet Wednesday, March 22nd at the Brown Township Hall. The Board of Appeals, if there is one, will be April 4th here at the Manistee Township Hall. Planning Commission will meet Tuesday, April 18th, 7 p.m. here at the hall. Bar Lake Improvement Board will meet April 17th at 7. Here at the hall, one on one end, one on the other, I presume?
No, one's Monday, one is Tuesday.
One's Tuesday, and then our meeting's
Oh,
Thursday.
April, okay,
Yeah,
April 18th.
April 17th.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And then our meeting will be April 20th.
Correct.
Full week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a busy week.
Any other public comment? Motion's in order.
Motion adjourned.
I'll second.
Been moved, supported, we adjourn. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? Carried. Thank you very much.